Hello, beautiful souls. I am here today to talk about the the ways that we have used language and how there are always a new or old language that we may not understand, and that sometimes languages get forgotten. And today I really want to talk about the light language, remembering the divine tongue. And I know it sounds like a crazy title, a crazy topic, but I wanted the first topic for this channel to really be about something of great importance. So, first off, I want to start by saying we are not just bodies moving through time. We are light remembering itself in dreams, in silence, in the space between life and death. There's a doorway. And through that doorway, the soul tells you you are more than you believe. So, I'm going to start with part one of this lesson and just break it down into parts. Part one, the light is a mirror, okay, not a master. Near death experiences often describe a radiant light, warm, intelligent, and familiar. Some call it God. Others say it felt like home. But what if that light isn't a separate being? What if it's the soul, stripped of illusion, seeing itself clearly? Or should I say more clearly? What I'm trying to say is light doesn't judge, it reflects. It doesn't command a room, it welcomes a room. It's not placed outside of us, it's the essence in us that we forgot. So a lot of people are probably thinking, okay, like where or how did this come into play? Well, if we think about it, this light may be the soul's original frequency, not a deity to worship, but a truth to remember, not a destination, but a mirror to awaken through the light is to see yourself as you truly are, whole, eternal, and woven from love through creation. Going on to part two of this, dreams as portals to divine memory. Dreams aren't random, they're sacred transmissions, especially dreams of light, flying, flight, or dissolution. These are soul coded messages. For instance, A glowing figure may be your higher self. A tunnel of light may be a rehearsal for transition. A floating sensation may be the soul practicing freedom. Okay. These dreams often come during times of grief, change, or what we consider an awakening. They're not an escape, they're more of an initiation. So when you dream of light, ask, what is my soul trying to remember? What part of me is ready to return to truth? So that section's upon dreams. Part 3, beyond the dogma into balance. I really want to get across that this lesson isn't about rejecting God. It's about expanding the definition. So, sorry. God just may be in what I feel is the totality of consciousness. Um, the light is almost being shown like a frequency of truth. Awakening, on the other hand, it might be the soul's journey back to unity with itself. When it awakens, it knows, it feels, it is seeing, it's now hearing and believing. So you're now one with it, right? You now, okay, I understand the feeling I'm getting, and I'm not going to let that feeling go. We live in polarity, life and death, body and spirit, waking and dreaming. But the light exists in the liminal space between. It's not either. It's not either or, it's both. So to awaken through the light is to embrace the mystery, honor the message that you're being given, and live it with remembrance. Part 4 to this. Death as a doorway, not an end. Death is not a punishment, it's a passage. And those who've touched it often return with clarity, compassion, and cosmic memory. They speak of unconditional love. They lose fear and they gain purpose. So, this suggests that death is not the opposite of life, it's the continuation of the soul. And the light that we end up meeting when we get there, it's not foreign, it's familiar. So think about that when you're dreaming or you're having visions or anything of the sort that may come about where you question, is that light signifying quote unquote God? Which I guess you could say that, since I already kind of feel like God is a pool of energy and we're just droplets of that. So I guess if you want to say that God is you and you are God, that's up to you. But I do believe that the light that's specifically coming towards people are essentially the soul itself speaking through and using that light as a language to speak to you, to show you that this is the true you. Don't think you're not special, because we're all light, okay? And I'll get to that in a minute. So, part 5 to this: living as light. Awakening through the light doesn't require dying. It requires remembering. It's, I feel like we all must remember our soul's origin. We all must remember our dreams as messages. And we must remember that you are not separate from the divine. You are a thread in its tapestry. So, to live as light is to, 1, speak with clarity. 2, create with intention. 3, love without condition. And 4, see the sacred in the ordinary. And this is why you have so many social groups that are now needing support, needing this, needing that, and you see so much of it. They don't really need it. I guess you could say they do, but they want it. If you really want something, you'll strive for that. So, to end this, a spiritual awakening doesn't arrive with fanfare. It whispers through the cracks of your ordinary life. You begin to sense that reality is layered, that that your thoughts aren't the whole truth, and that something ancient is stirring in you. You may feel detached from old habits, old connections with people. You're drawn to even solitude, which some people say is bad, but when you start awakening, you do have your phase. Some people can have a phase of like solitude and want to be alone and really delve into it all the way. Or some people don't even know they're going through an awakening and then they get into this solitude. And I think sometimes they can interpret it for depression, but I'm not 100. I'm still working on that theory. But people can also be flooded with synchronicities that seem too precise to be a coincidence. Like you're noticing one thing after another just coinciding a lot, especially in a short time frame. I would say within 3 months tops. But I mean, it can depend because within a 6 month to a year, you could have that entire year just being like, oh my God, last year was like, we had nothing going on. And then all year long, for some reason, your your energy shift is different. And so I think people need to pay attention to those things and really be aware of that. Um, Emotions can rise like tides during that. Uh, Dreams can intensify like a lot. And your intuition sharpens again a lot. It's not always a gentle transition, but awakening can feel like unraveling. But beneath all that chaos should be a quiet knowing you're remembering who you truly are. And I think people get scared of that. Before I end all this and get into the closing invitation, I really want to speak on that. I really want people to understand that this channel is to build awareness in the idea that we all have something going on. And I think the world is so good at telling us what it is that we're dealing with, whether it be considered depression, manic, bipolar, ADHD, whatever it may be that we are diagnosing people with now. And I'm kind of starting to get into the idea that not the definitions of things are starting to get mixed. And I think that we should encourage each other to look beyond the given definition. And I understand that when you're in school that you have to do things as is to pass your classes and do what you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form to not do that because that's very important. I myself graduated on time and I had a lot of hard issues and I still got through it. And I'm still happy that I graduated, even if I didn't go to college or I didn't, slip into the world of going to church and having a strict and organized life. I wasn't that type of person. Organization is probably not my best thing, but in at the end of the day, I stay as clean as I can. I try to think before I speak. I try to think about other people's feelings before I get into questioning or commenting or anything like that. Even when it comes to my kids, one of my kids is like 5 years old, and I still respect her in the manner of speaking to her like a person, not telling her she just has to listen because I'm the adult. Yes, I do tell her that, but that ain't the only reason I'm there. I'm there to help guide her so she can actually see how to hold herself as a person. So, in going into the closing invitation, you are not just alive. You are an awakening. You are not just dreaming, you are remembering. You are not just seeking the light, you are the light. So I want to encourage all of you to reflect on this. What dreams have awakened you lately? Made you really think hard, made you really like, I can't get it out of my head. It keeps coming back to me. I don't understand why I would have something like this happen. And I don't mean just like the things that we don't think is supposed to happen in life, but like the ones that really keep sticking to us, the ones that really won't let go in our minds. Have you ever felt the light calling you home? And I don't mean it in a weird way where, oh, I see the light. Like this is a vision, a dream where you don't understand why you feel disconnected, and that light makes you feel connected. So that's what I mean by calling you home, giving you that like home feel. So that's what I meant by that. And one more thing, what part of you is ready to return to the truth? And what are you willing to do to give yourself the chance to acknowledge the truth? And what I mean by truth is, I don't mean the only thing that's real, okay? Truth as in really digging deep into what is really you, what is really supposed to be going on in your life based off of what you feel your reason for being here is. So, when I say returning to truth, what part of you is ready to understand the full you, and what part of you is ready to understand the meaning of uncovering what it is you're here for? So, with that being said, beautiful souls, that I just really needed to express that as the first topic. I feel like that really made me feel a certain type of way where, okay, we all need to understand light language. We all need to understand the transmission of communicating with you, your soul, and that energy pool. And when I say energy pool, I mean God. So, yes, if someone asks me, do I believe in God? Yes, I do. But your definition and my definition may be different. But all I'm doing is showing people that the definition of God is much more expansive than what we know and what we've been taught. And so basically, that's all I'm doing. So it's not saying that Christians is really wrong or anything. It's so much as saying, okay, it's less of a deity and more of an energy pool that we are connected to, that allows us to, I don't, I don't even want to say time jump, but allows us to I guess in our terms, would be reincarnate. So I do believe that energy pool is the destinational place, which is the universe, is the destinational place for all to connect. And when it's ready to separate, it's because we know, in a spiritual sense, in a soul sense, where we're going next. So, I, as you know, if you have any questions or have any comments, please like, subscribe, and comment. We would love to hear from you. This would allow me to know how you enjoyed the lesson and how you connected with that lesson, and if there are topics that you would maybe like to discuss that maybe we can touch on. Other than that, I think I'm going to end this, and I hope that everyone has a very blessed and beautiful day. I'm very happy my daughter turns 5 today. It is her birthday. So I'm very happy about that. Thinking about doing some bracelets and necklace making with her today. So well, I'll see how that goes. That sounds fun. So yeah, feel free. This is an open space, and you are more than welcome to talk about anything here, as long as I said you're not judging nobody and not pointing fingers at nobody. Otherwise it will be deleted and removed. We are here for strictly love and encouragement, including for myself, because I myself needed a place where I could speak freely and have that support. So thank you all, and if you've watched this, feel free to interact with us. And thank you for chiming in to Lightwoven Liminal Lens. I'm Sara, and it was blessed and an honor to do this video. Thank you.